Hello, and welcome to the video on Padlet, how to access and use our new PVUSD subscription. It's helpful to note that anyone with a PVUSD account has access to this subscription, so it includes teachers, students, admin, aides, anyone with a PVUSD Google account. So I'm going to start by going to padlet.com. Once there, it'll auto-log me in, this time to Padlet because I've previously used it. If you've never used Padlet before, it'll take you to a login screen, which I'll show you in a minute. If you have previously used Padlet and it auto-logs you in, you might notice when you click on your profile up here that you are still in the trial version. In order to get access to the paid subscription, you'll need to log out and then log back in. For those of you who have never used Padlet before, I'm going to show you how to log in. You're going to go to padlet.com. Over here on the left-hand side is the login button. And then it's going to ask you which application you want to use to log in. Select Login with Google. Select your PVUSD account. And now you will be into Padlet with the paid PVUSD subscription. You'll notice up here, previously I showed that I was in the trial account. Now that I've signed out and signed back in, I don't see that trial information anymore, and I have access to the full paid version of Padlet. I'm going to show you some examples of Padlet. So Padlet is an interactive whiteboard space where teachers and students can simultaneously post to it, and they can post all kinds of different things: text, images, video, audio files. So one example here is one titled "Let's Celebrate Our Teachers," and it was shared out to a group of people. And they were able, here you can see, to post text, images, draw their own images, post audio files, post video files. And you can also see that all the participants in this interactive space were allowed to like or add comments onto these posts. I'm now going to show you how to make a Padlet. If you've used Padlet before, you may see previous Padlets you've created down here. If you haven't, you may see suggested templates down here. Either way, you can go up here to this pink button, select Make a Padlet, and then it'll give you some suggested layouts. So it gives a quick description of each layout here. These ones are pretty standard: wall, canvas, stream, and grid layout. And then down here, you'll notice they have some fancier ones. You can organize things into columns, organize it like a chat or a back channel, and then they also have these cool map and timeline layouts. I'm just going to choose the wall, which is a brick-like layout for now, so I'm going to hit select here. And then it will take you into the Padlet space. It'll choose randomly a wallpaper image here. If you want to change that, you can go right over here in this toolbar on the right-hand side to where it says wallpaper and select a different one. You can always add your own image as the wallpaper, but I'll just choose one of these for now. And I'm going to hit this back arrow here to get back to my toolbar. The next most important thing you want to do is probably change the title of this. So I'm going to pretend this is for a unit I'm doing on rainforests. Description. This could also be instructions for your students. There are my instructions. The icon is something that will appear right here next to the title. You can just leave it to no icon, or if you want to make it something a little bit more exciting or something more easily identifiable for your students, you can choose an icon there. This right here, this address, is a way is how your students are going to access this Padlet. I'll explain more about that later. I just want to show you have some more options down here in terms of font. This one I recommend turning on if you're using this with students. Display author name above each post. This way, when the students log in with Google, their name will be added to the top of their post and any comments they write. If you want to keep it anonymous, it's a polling or opinion type survey, you could always turn that off. The new post position allows you to decide where you want new posts to appear, either first or in front of other posts, or last after other posts. Comments, this is a helpful feature also, or useful, fun one for students. You can turn comments on so that they are able to comment on each other's posts. Reactions is also a great feature of Padlet. So you can choose that students can like each other's posts. If they're voting on something, you could choose vote up or down, and that way students can select which ideas they like the best and vote them up or down. You can give it stars or even give it a grade. Finally, down here you have some monitoring options, so you can require approval, meaning anytime a student posts something, you will need to say that you approve it before the rest of the class can see it. And this is also a nice one, filter profanity. If a student does type a bad word, it'll recognize it and instead replace the bad word with a nice emoji. So those are your settings there. You can then go up here and hit the next button. And now it'll tell you you are all ready to start posting. I always like to, especially if I'm using this for the first time with my students, model a post by actually adding one myself there. So when students get to this Padlet wall, they'll see an example from me, the teacher, on there. So the way you can add a post, you can double click anywhere on the screen and start your Padlet. You can hit this trash can icon to remove a post. You can also start a post down here with this plus button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Give my post a title. And then I can add text here. And then you'll also see down here, your students have lots of options of things they can add to this post. So right now, this is kind of almost like a standard sticky note that everyone will see. But if I want to add more information using different media, I can do that easily. This option here allows me to upload an image from my device. I could choose to link. So maybe I have a National Geographic website where I found some cool information. I could add that link there. I have this camera button, so I can choose to take a picture of myself, or maybe if it's younger students, they've drawn a picture of a rainforest, they could hold it up to the camera and take a picture of it. And then notice these three dots here. You can actually choose from all of these different options here. So I could search Google for an image and add it on. I could capture a video of myself explaining what I've learned. So this is especially great to make it just more interactive. And for students who aren't proficient typers, they can just record a video of themselves. You can record just a voice audio recording. You could record something, maybe you have a Google slide deck that you've created on rainforest and you want to do a screencast. You can do that here. You can draw something, add a location, etc. Lots and lots of tools here for your students to choose from. I'm just going to do a quick search for rainforest and show you what that looks like. I'll drag that in there, and now that's been added to my post. Once I click out of this, you'll notice that trash can icon goes away. As the student or the teacher, you will always have the ability to edit your own post or trash it. Students cannot delete each other's posts. The way to edit a post is just to hover over it and click this pencil icon, and then it'll get you right back into editing mode. To delete a post, it's this trash can icon here. Because in my settings I chose to turn on likes, you'll see here students will be able to like each other's posts, and students will also, because I turned on the commenting feature, be allowed to add a comment. I'm now going to show you how to share or assign this Padlet with students. There's a couple different ways to do it. One I mentioned already, which is when I'm in the tools bar over here. I mentioned that this is the link that you would share out to students. You can rename the link, so if I wanted to call this Rainforest 123 or whatever it is, I could try and rename it here. It just has to be something that haven't used before. The other way to pull the link is it's the same thing you'll notice right up here in this URL bar. This is the link that would go out to students. I would post in Google Classroom for them to access. You can, just to show a few other ways to share this, if I click my share button here, it allows me to copy the link. This is the same link from right up here to my clipboard. You can also add members directly if you're just working with a few people or whatever it is. You could choose to just add them directly with an email address. I also wanted to show this setting here. So again, the setting that I'm showing you is when you go to the share menu, this here where it says keep the Padlet hidden from the public, so people won't be able to publicly search Padlet for this. If I choose to share it with someone, they should be able to access it. And it also says what if I do share out this link, what those people will be able to do, and they will be able to, right now it's set to write on this. So I could change that privacy setting and choose a different one. You know, I could make this Padlet even password protected if I wanted to. And then here, what do I want when people get to the Padlet, or in this example, my students, when they get to the Padlet, what do I want them to be able to do? Write on it. There may be a situation where you want students just to be able to read what's on there and not necessarily add anything. You could change those settings there. And then edit would be, right, that those visitors would be able to approve each other's posts, delete each other's posts, all that kind of stuff, mostly teacher controls. So I've copied that link to my clipboard, so now I'm going to go over to Google Classroom and share it out to my students. I've already started creating an assignment. Here it is. I'm going to go in and edit it. So I created an assignment from the classwork tab called Rainforests. I'm asking my students to watch a video and then write one thing or more that you learned about rainforests on the Padlet. I've already attached a video for my students to watch, and now I want to add the link to the Padlet. So I'm going to go to this add button, and then I'm going to click on link. And now I'm just simply going to paste the link, the Padlet link, into there. And now my students can access the Padlet wall. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And then I'll show you what it looks like from the student side. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when a student accesses that Padlet assignment from Google Classroom. I'm logged in here as a student, and I'm going to go into that Google Classroom, and here I see the assignment that was posted. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and I see the instructions, the video, and here is the Padlet link that my teacher posted. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. One of the most important things to note about using Padlet with students is that they will not be automatically logged into Google. Even if you've turned on the feature that you want attributions in the comments or in the posts, you will have to instruct students to log in with Google first. Otherwise, when the student goes to post, like I am now, the name anonymous will appear up here. So if you want student names to appear there, you're going to have to ask them to log in with Google. So they're going to click the login button, select login with Google, choose their PBUSD account, and then they can access either from here, from this screen, or they can access from the Google Classroom that Padlet. And now you can see up here, I'm logged in, it recognizes my account, and when I post, it'll append my name to the top here. If students are accessing from a Chromebook, if they sign in for the very first time and then just close out the Padlet tab after they're done, every other time they go to access Padlet, it'll automatically sign them in. They won't have to go through that login with Google process. So now I'm going to, as a student, here's my post, add it there. I could add a video, whatever else I wanted. I could add likes onto things. I could add a comment onto other posts and interact with this space. Now I'm going to switch back to the teacher account, and I'll be able to see in real time that the student has added a post. I'm here now in my teacher account, and that the student has added a post here, and they've also added a comment down here. Final thing I'm going to show you is the gallery in Padlet. So from a Padlet, if you want to get back to the dashboard screen, you can always click this Padlet logo in the top left here. From here, you'll see this green button, Gallery, and this is a collection of Padlets that other people have made. And to access it, you just click on one, and then you have the option up here to remake it. So I could reuse this one and push it out to my students. So I'm going to click on this remake button. I can rename it here. I could change the instructions if I wanted. And then down here you'll see the option. I want to just copy this design or also copy the posts, text, and attachments on this. Maybe for this case I just want to copy the design, so now I'm going to hit submit. And then it'll remake it and put it into my Padlet dashboard. And then I have the ability to assign it to students. Enjoy!